Passion Harvest. Hello and welcome, and thank you for being here with us at Passion Harvest, where we aim to assist you on your journey to live a passionate life. My passionate guest today is Michael Muir. Michael, did I say it wrong?
Muir, but same.
Muir.
It's all good. It's all good.
I should have asked you. That was Muir. Hello, welcome, and thank you for being here with us at Passion Harvest, where we aim to assist you on your journey to live a passionate life. My passionate guest today is Michael Muir. Michael is a transformational healer, teacher, somatic psychotherapist, astral shaman, and light language channel for the Galactics and Ascended Masters. Michael works directly with his collective of energies to provide clients with DNA codes and keys for their personal light body activation. Wow, I can't wait to hear more about these incredible gifts. Michael, welcome to Passion Harvest.
Thanks for having me.
Wow, it sounds absolutely amazing. I guess I'd really love to start with, were you born with these gifts or did they progress?
Sure. So I guess most people's evolution, whether it's a career evolution or whether it's a spiritual evolution, it starts off in one form and then it sort of evolves. So basically, I'm actually from a science background originally, so I studied science at uni. I spent 10 years in science and transplant immunology at the Red Cross blood transfusion in Sydney here in Australia, and it was from there there is a bit of thread that follows. I started working with cell work, and I still feel like even today I work with the cellular body and activating the DNA consciousness in the cells. But basically, while I was studying, while I was training as a somatic psychotherapist, while I was still working as a scientist, which is a body-orientated form of therapy. So connecting the body and the mind. I chose to, investigate that way, or that modality of healing, because I took part in some experiential workshops that involved the body and the mind, and I really saw the benefits of healing trauma and connecting more fully with the body. And I did my own therapy work, and so I thought, really, I want to give this to people too. So it was during the the training in 2004 when I started making strange sounds during some of the training, touching bodies, touching bodies. And back then there was no Facebook, there was no YouTube, there was no real groups around what light language was or anything like that. And I wasn't so grounded, and I think I needed to do a lot of my own, personal work to really, because the frequencies that I do channel through are quite high and fast. So I needed to really do my own inner work, before I opened up to these this way of working. And then through, my own personal 10-year practice as a therapist, I started to revisit the sound work, and I found another light language channel that did a retreat in Sydney, Judy Satori. She's been doing this work for 20 years. And went to one of her retreats and gave me a real framework and a belief that this was actually useful. The scientist in me really did need to, prove that this was actually something that would be beneficial for people. So then I started running small groups and one-on-ones and testing out this new modality of mine that I was investigating till I actually got enough proof to share it with others and work with it in a bigger scale. Yeah.
I love your confidence, because I find a lot of people, when, obviously different levels of spiritual awakening, they're kind of worried what other people might think. That wasn't the case with you. They would think, you're a weirdo, or what are these weird sounds?
Totally. I had that. Totally. I guess I always tell the story of growing up a gay man in the north of England. Yeah. So it sort of put me in good stead for feeling a little bit outside the norm. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. So it sort of gave me a little bit. I'm just going to give it it's still edgy though. And I think a lot of people in the spiritual community for sure have a lot of past life. If you're working with energies in past life trauma and past experiences, if that's something that you resonate with, have had many experiences bringing their spirituality in the world that hasn't been favorable, whether it's light language or whether it's prayer, whatever. And so I really feel like along my own journey, I guess it's been about moving through the fear step by step. So expanding baby steps, bit by bit, moving through a bit more, and then expanding. So it's not that I don't feel the fear, I just don't give up, you know?
And I guess it's trusting that what you're doing is real and right, and trust is, I guess, is a very, very big one.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's why I was so pleased when you messaged me about coming on the show. The passion side of things, you know, the passion, I feel like this is my work, this is my passion, and I don't really have an option not to do this in some ways.
I love that.
I'm just really happy that people receive it in a way that you know, that I can still do this for a living and be passionate about what I do.
That's beautiful. And I have to say, with passion, you know, obviously you get tired, and you were just saying you've been holding a workshop, which sounds incredible, but there's something, passion morphs, and you could do it for hours, and you're just so excited about it.
It's true. I feel like I have a lot of energy for this work. And when I'm actually channeling frequencies and energies, it does really uplift my own energy as well. So it's not like I feel like I'm working solo in some ways. But yes, I definitely feel it. The passion side of it makes you have the inner fire to keep going regardless. You know?
Purpose, or, I mean, there's so many words for it. But
yeah, for sure.
I'd love to talk about channeling in a minute. I just wanted to ask, when you, the scientist in you, how you needed to do some test first to see if your light language or your healing actually worked. What were some of the results, or what are some of the results from your clients?
So I guess firstly, I came from a science background, then I came from a therapeutic, a traditional therapy background, and then when we moved into just more, I guess, avant-garde spirituality. And
I love it. I love, great name.
so basically, what I feel is that I first tested the waters. I was already running body work groups somatic style, and so I tested the waters by putting a little bit of the sound stuff in and seeing people's reactions and seeing their emotional responses and feeling what they actually felt. And I also worked with a couple of dear friends that were very spiritually aware and also energetically sensitive. And so I'd do sessions with them and get feedback on what was happening for them in their body, what the responses were when I was working with the energy. And so I gathered, I guess I needed to reassure my skeptical mind that it was actually useful. And then as I built my inner trust, if you will, then I started moving out with it a bit further.
Wow. So back to the channeling. Some people need a lot of preparation. Obviously, everyone has different methods, and I understand that you are channeling from the Galactics.
Yeah, when you say preparation, you mean preparation to sit and channel? They need preparation.
Yes, some people might meditate for an hour and, open their chakras. Everyone has their own various methods, or it might happen instantly to you. I'm just wondering how you.
So for me,
I was just sorry. I'm so sorry I'm terrible at interrupting, but
no,
I spoke to a channeler once, and she had a great answer. I said, do you prepare yourself? Because I'm very interested. And she said, no, they're just there, and I allow them. Everyone has, so please go on, but everyone has different...
No. I think that's great that you said that, because that's my experience too. They're just the light language, for example, is there always. I just have to turn my mind to it. It's sort of like, if you will, like a foreign language in some ways. So it's there permanently. It's not like I sort of sit there and it's jiggling away in the background. It's just I actually have to decide to focus on it. But if I don't, I can get on with my ordinary life. It's no big deal. In regards to channeling, I really don't have to do a lot of preparation. I've done a lot of work prior to getting to this point, sort of preparing, I guess, the body and the chakra system for channeling. So I did a lot of work in the past around, somatic body work to get into my body. I did a lot of Buddhist practice, tantric Buddhist practice, opening up to deity practice, and that also I feel is a very good way to actually to open the body to channeling. I feel, because really I feel Buddhist practices, Buddhist deity practice, I feel is very similar to channeling, to be honest, because you're embodying the deity. So that really helped me, I guess, open my mind and my energy body to that way of working. And then it sort of gradually evolved. And like any skill, I guess, that you learn, it's through practice that it's become more refined. It's through the practice of doing it in groups and with people in one-on-ones that I've gained clarity of what energies I'm channeling and why they're here and that kind of business. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily the same
beings all the time.
Beings all the time.
No, I sort of. The energies change depending on who I'm with. Sometimes I'm connecting in with an energy that supports them, if you will, like a guide or an ascended master energy that is connected with them and their soul path, their soul mission. Sometimes I'm connecting with galactic frequencies, and it can be potentially a being or a cohort of beings, such as the Palladian Collective, that want to transmit energies. Really, but basically they have a desired outcome with the energy that comes through me to support some kind of expansion or clearing. Yeah.
Wow. And you mentioned
that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Well, it does to me. If anyone wants to pause and replay that, they can. You mentioned that it does actually invigorate you or give you, and how does it make you feel? Channeling.
I don't want to sort of say it's like a drug experience, but it is. It's like a natural high in some ways. Not sort of away with it high, but just very uplifting, because it's high energy, it's high frequency. So it could be the same sort of euphoria that you would feel if you've had a good gym workout, for example. It could feel sort of some endorphins, and also it's sort of open-hearted, so it feel more sense of love in your heart, and also at times it can be emotional because there can be releasing of old energies that no longer serve. So it really depends on, I guess, where the person's at in the session or the group. Yeah. But it's sort of in the main, it's really supporting an opening and an expansion. And sometimes the goodies come later on, Sometimes you feel a bit out of sorts in the session, and then once you've cleared the energies that are shifted, you feel more clarity and more, I guess, aligned with your soul and with purpose. Yeah.
Wonderful. And have you ever, you've got amazing healings, but have you ever asked the question, why me?
I haven't.
Haven't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe I should have. Let me think about that for a second. Have I ever asked this? You know what? I've just gone along for the ride.
Right. Well, I love that. Sometimes we all, it's our analytical brain trying to understand, but I thought the scientist in you would have asked that question.
I think I have sometimes thought, I tell a lie a little. I have sort of sometimes thought it would be sometimes much easier to just be very normal. Sometimes I think of, I just love to work in a grocery store or something and just be normal. But then I think that I just feel like this, this is the passion show. I feel like it's so in my passion that I know it's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful. I'd like to move on to your incredible offerings, your DNA activation, your chakra healing, and you connect individuals with their soul's purpose or connect with their soul. Do you mind just telling us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so I do that work either privately, one-on-one, online, or face-to-face in Australia, Sydney. and also I do group work. I'll leave the group work a little bit because it's sort of an expansion of the one-on-one. But the one-on-ones really, they're healings, and they're also channelings that open the energy body. So I'm channeling both in English and through sound in light language, and these channelings are to open the chakras and also the astral chakras that sit above the head. So it's opening up the energy body or the light body, if you will. And this is clearing. Often people that come to me want to release old patterns, energetic patterns that are inhibiting them move forward in their work. Especially if they're linked to galactic or starseed origins, if you will. Starseed, I guess, is simply just a name people have for people that remember that they have had experiences in past lives off planet. So I work with many of those sensitives to sort of open them, connect them to their histories, and allow them to move through fear, through the different clearing and releasing energies from the different chakras, and bringing them more into their empowerment through, I guess, messages from spirit in both in English and psychically, if you will, mainly from ascended energies or galactic frequencies, and then obviously energy downloads to support their energy body expansion. Yeah, so it shifts the field in consciousness.
Absolutely sense. I'm just interested, everyone receives messages or guidance in different ways. Do you hear the messages it's hard to even define, but do you hear the messages in your head?
I hear what you mean. I know what you mean. So for me, I'm not a visual person at all. I don't see images. Even though I describe, I can describe a lot of meditations. I do meditations in groups where I bring through different timelines, such as the Egyptian, Lemurian, galactic timelines, and do quite descriptive meditations around that for healing. But I don't see. I get a knowing. So it's almost like I get a knowing and I speak it straight away. So it's sort of like some people might call it a download. Some people might call it intuition. So it's sort of like a knowing that I just sort of bring through. Yeah.
And then the galactic frequencies obviously come without even forethought. They just spring forth from you.
They normally I get that there's something that wants to come through, and that it's for a particular purpose, say for the heart chakra, to open the heart to connect with some Pleiadian energy, for example, that may be wanting to come through. Or sometimes I know that there's a piece, say for example, clearing a piece of galactic energy that wants to come from the solar plexus to clear and release fear. Or sometimes when I'm actually speaking the sound, I get a little bit more information in English about what it's about while I'm doing it. So it sort of depends on the situation. Yeah.
Wonderful. And the sounds, obviously the galactic sounds that you don't understand the words, you don't need to understand the words. It's the frequency, from what I understand.
Yes. We can do a little if you want. We can do a little, if you wish.
Are you like one of those people that's nudging, like she's got to open that base chakra? What are you getting messages right now?
I'm not.
You can switch off.
No. I don't say the base chakra. I'd say that. I say the energy that here wishes to. The Pleiadian energies that are here wish just to bring through some frequency. This isn't particularly for your heart, but this is for the heart of the group that are listening to the
they would love that. I would love that
for the broadcast. So really, light language, it doesn't sound like anything human. It sounds like a little bit gobbledygook. It sounds a little bit like, some would say it was talking in tongues in the old religious contexts. So really all you have to do when I make the sound is to listen with your body, listen with your energy, listen with your heart. Yeah. And so this is I guess some energy that comes direct from the Pleiadian frequency, and it is really just to support the opening of the heart center. Yeah. So I'll just do a little bit of sound and just listen to the sound. Yeah.
Okay. I'll close my eyes.
Yeah, if you want.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
So just for people that are listening,
Mm-hmm.
just feel that, just feel what you feel. And if you want to message me at any point, you can message me about what you feel. Really, it's about shifting state, shifting space, you know. And if you want to watch me when I channel, you'll see the energy come through. Yeah.
Interesting. And as always, for anyone that's listening, all your details will be in the show notes if anyone wants to contact Michael directly. Michael, I'd love to ask you, I'm so zen and relaxed now, since this is a show about passion, if someone's looking to find their passion, what is your advice?
I think take risks, you know. Take risks, follow your heart. Don't let fear hold you back, you know. Take babies, take some steps. You know, you don't have to take massive steps that overwhelm you, but take some steps. Find like minds that share your passion or share your enthusiasm for passion, and build a tribe of connections that so you don't feel alone in moving forward. And I think that's all you need, really.
Beautiful advice. Thank you so much. As we come to a close in a little while, what else would you like, or is there something you'd like to share with our audience that are listening?
Okay. So I think just the importance of embodiment at this time of the ascension process. I know a lot of people are talking about the ascension process online. It's a spiritual ascension process. Yeah, it's about lifting our frequency, lifting our energy up, up, up. But this is also needs to be integrated within the physical body, and this is something that I think many in the spiritual community forget sometimes, that we need to actually anchor into the physical. The only way we're actually going to support a shift in the earth consciousness is to be physical and to move into the physical world in a way that's in a regular way. So I feel like do your housekeeping for your body, you know. Ground yourself, do meditation, do yoga, Pilates to help your core, strengthen your body. Do stuff that helps your mind. If you need to do some self-development stuff, just do stuff to really help your body mind, and that will then strengthen your resilience, and that will also allow you a really I guess a powerful position to come from to explore your passion.
I love that answer, and I just have to interrupt and relate it to me because I'm talking to you. And I've just written a blog post about it, but the last 2 weeks, I'm fine now. I was really sick. I had the worst flu. Like I literally couldn't move. It was terrible. And I got the messages that, number one, it was the most incredible cleanse that I wouldn't have done anyway. But I got the message that my body was upgrading.
Perfect. I feel that's true. There's such a thing as essential flu, yeah? And I feel that many, when you're clearing at a cellular level, and there has been a rapid, in the last month, there has been such a shift in the energies coming through. It's been quite disorientating for a lot of people. There's been dizziness, there has been vomiting, there's been purging.
I had everything.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So you must have been through a real big upgrade. But you know, I think that's true. So I think it is, the body sometimes does sort of need to clean out stuff. So in that, and when you're going through that, just to allow the process to do what it does, you know.
I'd love to ask you one more question in relation to that.
Sure.
So as, you know, we talk about the mind and body, however you want to call it, as the mind or the soul or the spirit raises on a more continuous basis their frequency.
Yes.
I felt, just this is for me, but I'm just asking out of interest.
Mm.
I felt that my body needed to adjust to that, to continually resonate at that frequency. That's why it needed to upgrade on a cellular level. That was my feeling.
Yes, that I feel that's totally spot on,
Oh.
because the body needs to the body's the densest form of matter, yes. The
Mm.
body's the densest form of matter. So energetically these shifts can come into the collective frequency through the cosmic alignments that are happening. But then we have to go through the stages of integration into the physical, or we can't sustain them.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happens. The body has to go through a purification to be able to hold the new frequency. It's almost like a shapeshift in a minute way.
Wow, that was quite profound of me, that thought then, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So
very much.
next time we get sick, think you're not sick, you're having an upgrade.
Yeah, very much.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being on Passion Harvest today. I've loved chatting with you. It's really been an insight.
Thanks for the invite. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Michael.
Take care.
Bye.